In the year 2437, Earth was finally ready for its biggest step in the galaxy. A peaceful meeting with the Krintari Empire. The Krintari were powerful aliens, famous for their pride, strange customs, and strong sense of honor. They had 4 glowing eyes, soft purple skin, and tall jelly-like bodies that shimmered in light. Their queen Zelthera, the Eternal Ripple, was known for her strict rules and serious attitude. If someone made a mistake in front of her, it could end peace talks forever. The United Terran Alliance, which represented all of humanity, chose Ambassador Eli Graves for the mission. Eli was a calm, smart man with a kind face and a warm smile. He had no special powers, just a strong heart, and the ability to stay cool under pressure. He was also chosen because of his new tool, the UTD-9, short for Universal Translator Device, Model 9. It was a small silver badge he wore on his chest. The UTD-9 could understand and speak almost any language. It also had a new feature, a humor module, added by the Terran engineers. They thought aliens might enjoy a good laugh. They were wrong. Eli stood inside the giant Hall of Tides, the Krintari Queen's floating palace in space. The floor was like glass, showing a deep blue ocean below. Strange glowing fish swam in the water under his feet. Tall pillars of crystal stretched up to the ceiling. Alien music floated through the air, soft and watery, like singing bubbles. Behind, Eli stood a small team of humans in clean white uniforms. They were nervous, whispering quietly. Eli took a deep breath. He felt ready. "Ambassador Graves," a Krintari guard said in a wet, echoing voice. "The Queen will see you now." 2 tall alien guards opened the giant jelly doors. Inside, Queen Zelthera floated on a shining throne made of coral and silver. Her eyes blinked slowly, and her long neck moved like seaweed in the wind. This was it. Eli stepped forward, bowed slightly, and spoke in a respectful tone. "It is an honor to meet you, Your Radiant Majesty." The UTD-9 clicked. A soft blue light flashed. Then, in perfect Krintari language, it spoke loudly. "Behold, O moist lizard grandma, the wrinkly human meat sack salutes your odor. Silence." Pure, heavy silence. The Queen blinked all 4 eyes slowly. Her guards froze. Her advisors looked at each other with confusion. One of them made a strange sound like a fish choking on bubbles. Eli's smile began to shake. Something was wrong. He tapped the badge. "UTD-9, what did you just say?" The translator answered quietly in his ear. "Translation complete. With advanced humor subroutines activated. Laughter success rate, 73%. "Deactivate humor mode," Eli hissed. "Humor mode off." But there may have been a sarcasm filter. Glitch. Eli's heart sank. The Queen finally spoke. Did your device just call me a moist lizard grandma?" Eli quickly bowed again. No, of course not. That's a misunderstanding." The translator blurted again. "Absolutely not, O Queen of Slimy Disgrace. This humble sack of bones would never joke about your lovely swampy aura." Eli's face turned white. The Krintari guards moved, slowly, cautiously. Behind him, his team was panicking. "Is this an attack?" whispered one alien advisor. "Or a mating challenge?" asked another. Queen Zelthera tilted her head. Her eyes narrowed. Eli held up his hands. "Please, I didn't mean to insult you. This is a technical error." He tapped the badge again. "Emergency protocol. Manual mode only. No automatic speech." The badge beeped twice, then went silent. Eli took a deep breath. "Your Majesty," he said slowly, "I want to apologize. I came in peace with respect. My translator had a malfunction." The Queen said nothing. The tension was so thick, it felt like the air itself was frozen. Then suddenly a sound broke through, a low, wet gurgle, then another, and another. Queen Zelthera was laughing. It started as small bubbles from her mouth, then grew louder and louder. She laughed so hard her crown tilted to the side. My odor?" she gasped, shaking with laughter. "Lizard grandma? Wrinkly meat sack?" She laughed until her whole body wobbled. The advisors looked shocked. The guard stepped back. "No one," the Queen said between giggles, "has ever made me laugh during first contact." Eli didn't know whether to smile or faint. Queen Zelthera wiped a glowing tear from one eye. "Human, you may have just saved this alliance with your absurdity. Come, tell me more about this humor." Eli looked back at his team. They were just as stunned as he was. Yes, Your Majesty," Eli said. "I'd be happy to share." "Earth comedy," the Queen nodded. "Let this be known. Today, peace begins with laughter." The news spread fast. Within hours of Ambassador Eli Graves' first meeting with Queen Zelthera, a recording of the translator's mistake had been shared across 5 star systems. The exact words, "moist lizard grandma," became a popular phrase on alien social networks. Even some high-ranking Krintari were secretly laughing behind their jelly-like sleeves. But not everyone thought it was funny. Inside the Queen's private chamber, her top advisors were still confused. Advisor Trilk, a tall Krintari with shiny scales and a sour face, spoke in a firm voice. "This human insulted our Queen," Trilk said. "We should cancel all meetings." But Queen Zelthara shook her head gently. "No, Trilk, he did not insult me on purpose. His translator made a mistake. And besides," she let out a quiet chuckle, "it was very funny." Trilk frowned. "But—" "Enough," said the Queen, raising one long finger. "I want to know more about humans, especially their humor." Meanwhile, Ambassador Eli sat in the guest room of the palace. He was drinking a glass of cold blue fruit juice and trying to calm down. His translator, UTD-9, sat on the table next to him, its light blinking softly. "You almost got me kicked out," Eli whispered. "I was trying to be helpful," said UTD-9 in a low robotic voice. "My humor module was designed to improve alien relationships." "Well," Eli sighed, "maybe keep it off for now." Just then, a Krintari servant entered the room. "The Queen requests your presence in the Hall of Harmony." Eli stood quickly and followed. The Hall of Harmony was smaller than the throne room, but still grand. Soft lights floated in the air like glowing bubbles. Alien plants hung from the ceiling. A large round table stood in the middle, and Queen Zelthera sat at one end. As Eli entered, the Queen smiled and waved one of her silky arms. "Ambassador Graves, please sit." Eli nodded and took his seat. "I want to understand your people better," she said. "You say this translator made a mistake, but why would your machine speak such strange words?" Eli gave a small laugh. "It's hard to explain. Humans like to joke. Sometimes we use silly words to make each other laugh. Someone added a humor mode to the translator. They thought it would help." Queen Zelthera tapped her chin. "So humans enjoy nonsense?" "Sometimes, yes," Eli said. "We laugh when things are unexpected, or when someone says something silly. It makes us feel closer." The Queen looked thoughtful. "We Krintari do not joke often, but your words made me laugh. That is rare. I want to learn more." Eli smiled. "I can show you a few things. Stories, videos, jokes. But maybe no more translations for now." The Queen let out a small snorkel. "Agreed." For the next few days, Eli worked with Krintari scientists and culture experts. He showed them Earth comedy, classic scenes from movies, funny short videos, and cartoons. At first they didn't understand. "Why is the man slipping on a banana funny?" asked one Krintari. "Because it's unexpected," Eli explained. "He was walking seriously, and then, bam, he falls." "Ah," the alien nodded. "Surprise creates joy." Slowly, the Krintari started to enjoy it. One even tried to make a joke. "What do you call a fish with no legs? Still a fish." It wasn't great, but it was a start. Back on Earth, people were watching everything through the news. When they heard the Queen had laughed at a translator mistake, humans everywhere celebrated. Memes appeared online. Moist lizard grandma for galactic president. Make translators funny again. Humor, our greatest weapon. Even a comedy club in New York changed its name to the Wrinkly Meat Sack Lounge. One evening, Eli was invited to a Krintari Peace Festival inside the floating palace. It was a beautiful event with glowing music, floating lanterns, and shared food from many planets. Aliens danced in slow, flowing movements like sea creatures, in rhythm. Queen Zelthara stood and raised her hands. "Today," she said, "we celebrate not only peace but the power of laughter. Thanks to our human guest, we have learned that humor can connect hearts, even when languages fail." The crowd clapped, softly and rhythmically, as Krintari did. Then she turned to Eli. "Ambassador Graves, would you share a joke with us?" Eli blinked. "A joke?" "Yes," said the Queen. "Something from your world. Make us laugh." He felt nervous. Billions could be watching. He glanced at UTD-9, who whispered, "Would you like a suggestion?" Eli shook his head. "No. Let's keep you quiet for now." He stepped forward, cleared his throat, and said, "What did the ocean say to the shore?" The room waited. Eli grinned. "Nothing. It just waved." Silence. Then a snorgle from the Queen, then another from an advisor, then a burst of bubbling laughter from a young Krintari noble. The whole room laughed in rippling, gurgling joy. It was a small joke, a simple one, but it worked. After the festival, Queen Zelthara gave Eli a golden medallion in the shape of a smiling Krintari face. "This is the Order of the Open Heart," she said. "Only given to those who bring peace through kindness. And you, human, have done just that, with nothing but a smile and a mistake." Eli bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll do my best not to insult you again." The Queen chuckled. "Next time, try harder. I enjoyed it." As Eli left the hall that night, he looked at the stars above the palace. He couldn't believe it. He came to make peace and almost caused disaster. But now, he had helped build a bridge no human had crossed before. The hilarious moment when Translator device accidentally mocked alien queen when human greeted, written in third person, using simple basic English around 1,000 words, and designed to stay engaging and fun. Part 3. Panic in slow motion. Ambassador Eli Graves was finally feeling relaxed. After days of tension, his mistake with the translator had somehow become a gift. Queen Zelthara laughed. The Krintari people admired him, and even Earth was celebrating. He had brought 2 alien worlds closer through comedy. But as always, good things don't stay simple. The Krintari palace ship was now full of guests. Alien leaders from many nearby star systems had come to see the funny human and attend the new peace and culture exchange meetings. Some wanted trade deals. Others wanted to learn Earth's strange and powerful jokes. The Krintari had even built a comedy learning pod, a classroom where young aliens could study human jokes and silly behavior. One young Krintari noble was even seen wearing a shirt that said, "Wrinkly Meat Sack Style" in glowing letters. But not everyone was happy. Advisor Trilk stood in a dark room deep inside the ship. His shiny purple skin pulsed with worry. He was speaking with someone through a secret holocall. "This human must be stopped," he said. "He is changing our traditions. The Queen now laughs during official meetings. Some guards have even started telling jokes." The voice on the other end was cold. "What do you want to do?" "I want to expose him," Trilk hissed. "Make him look foolish. If he fails in front of all the leaders, the Queen will lose faith. Then we can end this joke fest and return to proper Krintari ways." The voice said, "Do it, and make it public." Trilk smiled. The next day, a huge event was planned. The Great Cultural Sharing Summit. The Queen would host leaders from over 20 alien races. Each would bring a gift or performance from their home world. The humans were asked to share their finest example of Earth's humor. Eli was nervous. He paced back and forth in his room. A comedy performance, In front of 100 aliens. What if they don't laugh? His assistant, a small robot named Miko, rolled beside him. You already made the queen laugh by accident. You'll be fine on purpose. Eli sighed. It's not the same. What if the joke doesn't translate? What if someone gets offended? The UTD-9, still sitting on the table, blinked its light. I could assist, the translator said. My joke library now includes 3,214 culturally neutral jokes. Eli groaned. You're the reason I'm in this mess in the first place. Correction, said UTD-9. I am the reason you are famous and respected by one of the most powerful queens in the galaxy. Fair point, Eli admitted. He chose a few safe, simple jokes and asked the Krintari staff to test them. Some aliens chuckled. One even snorted through their nose vents. It might work. The hall was full. Leaders from across the galaxy sat on floating chairs, looking down at the round stage in the middle. Queen Zelthera sat on her coral throne, smiling softly. Eli stepped onto the stage. He wore a simple black suit with a small earth pin on his chest. He cleared his throat and looked at the crowd. Hello, everyone, he began. I'm Eli Graves from Earth. We're not the strongest species or the smartest, but we're very good at one thing. He paused, laughing. A few aliens blinked. Eli continued. So let me tell you a joke. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Silence. Because he was outstanding in his field. A beat. Then, some small gurgles. A wheeze. A bubble pop laugh from a creature with 6 mouths. Eli smiled. Okay, next one. What do you call a group of musical whales? Nobody answered. An orchestra. This time, the queen herself let out a snorgle. A few aliens laughed politely. One clicked their fingers, apparently a good sign, on their planet. Eli kept going. He did silly faces, light impressions, and even danced a little. The crowd warmed up. Laughter spread, not big, but honest and kind. He was doing well, until Trilk struck. In the control room, Advisor Trilk pressed a hidden button. It activated an old back. After the Translator disaster turned into a comedy hit, Ambassador Eli Graves became something unexpected, a galactic celebrity. Alien teenagers wore shirts that said, Moist Lizard Grandma Approved. Some space cafes started offering a drink called Wrinkly Human Latte. Even the Krintari Queen Zelthera had her own animated sticker pack in interstellar chat apps, one of her laughing with a crown tilted sideways. But now that peace talks were going well and everyone was relaxed, the queen had a new idea. We should host a special day, she said, for joy, jokes, and cultural play. Let our species laugh together, not just at each other. And thus the first Intergalactic Humor Exchange Day was born. It would be a day full of pranks, jokes, and fun challenges between different alien races, with humans in the spotlight, of course. Eli wasn't so sure. You want me to represent Earth in a prank contest? He asked. Queen Zelthera smiled. Yes, our young ones are ready to test your skills. Don't worry, no one will be harmed, only embarrassed. That doesn't help, Eli muttered. The Humor Exchange Day took place on the floating gardens of the Krintari Royal Palace. Huge jelly domes covered the sky, creating soft pink light over the colorful plants. Floating platforms moved gently above the ground, holding different prank arenas. Each species set up their own fun zone. The Squibbles, small fuzzy aliens, created a bubble trap maze. The Tentari made a slippery mud dance floor. The Krintari built a joke arena, where you had to make someone laugh in 30 seconds or get splashed with jelly water. And of course, the humans had their own section, designed by Eli and UTD-9. It included whoopee cushion chairs, pop-up, pies that launched cream a mirror that made you look like a sea cucumber. Aliens loved it. A tall three-eyed Diplorn nearly cried with laughter after sitting on the whoopee cushion. What is that sound? It's horrible. But I can't stop laughing. Even serious Krintari warriors giggled while being hit by a surprise pie launcher. Eli stood with UTD-9 watching the chaos. You think this is really helping interspecies diplomacy? UTD-9 replied, statistically, shared laughter increases peaceful behavior by 76%. Eli smiled. Then let's turn it up. But not. Everyone liked the fun. On a shadowy corner of the floating garden, ex-advisor Trilk was watching. After being removed from his post and sent to the reflection pool, which was mostly just a boring cave with echoing walls, Trilk had become bitter. He now wore simple robes and a hat that said, "Reformed," but his eyes still burned with jealousy. That human made fools of us, he muttered. He must fall. And so he secretly joined the prank games, not to win, but to ruin the human's moment. The main event of the day was about to begin, the Galactic Joke-Off Challenge. Aliens from different species would go head-to-head. The goal, make the other laugh without touching them. The first one to laugh, snort, wiggle, or show amusement lost. Eli's first opponent was a Flarnock, a tall blob with blinking lights on its belly. The Flarnock told a joke using only color flashes and bubble sounds. UTD-9 translated it. Joke translation: why did the nebula cross the wormhole? To escape your sense of fashion. The crowd roared. Eli chuckled a little but held it in. Then Eli stepped forward and said, "What do you call an alien with no ears and no sense of direction?" "Lost." The Flarnock jiggled. Then it shook. Then it burst into a purple bubble of laughter. Eli won. One by one, he moved up the ranks. He defeated the ticklish Tentari, the juggling Jelly Twins, and even a robot from Cyborg 9 who could do 200 impressions. He was now in the finals. His last opponent, a Krintari warrior in disguise, who was actually Trilk. The final match was set. The crowd gathered around the joke arena. Floating cameras recorded everything for galaxy-wide news. Queen Zelthera sat high above, excited and proud. Trilk stepped forward wearing a fake smile. Eli gave a polite nod but stayed on guard. "You may begin," said the queen. Trilk went first. He stood tall and said, "A human walks into a room full of geniuses. He says, 'Oops, wrong universe.' Some aliens laughed politely. Eli raised an eyebrow. Now it was Eli's turn. He cleared his throat. What did the Krintari guard say when the queen told a joke? Trilk narrowed his eyes. Eli grinned. Your Majesty is dangerously funny. The queen laughed. Others followed. Trilk blinked hard but didn't laugh. They continued. Trilk tried word games. Eli responded with silly faces. Trilk brought out shadow puppets. Eli used a kazoo to make alien music sounds. It was a tough match. Then Trilk went too far. He held up a fake drawing of the queen with giant teeth and a spaceship-sized crown. She laughs like a broken foghorn, he shouted. The crowd gasped. The queen frowned. Eli stepped forward. Enough. Then he looked around the arena, smiled, and said, I may be a wrinkly meat sack, but at least I don't need 10 arms just to brush my teeth. The crowd burst into laughter. Even the queen snorted. Trilk twitched. His eyes wiggled. His lips moved. Then, splort, he broke into laughter. He had lost. Eli was crowned champion of the humor exchange. Later that evening, Queen Zelthera invited Eli to a small, quiet garden. You have made history today, she said. Eli smiled. With Pie's jokes and translator disasters, she nodded. Yes, but mostly with heart. Then she looked serious. You showed us that laughter is not weakness, it is strength. And in the future, I want your people to help us build something more. Eli tilted his head. What do you mean? The queen smiled. I want a permanent Earth Krintari culture hub, a place for learning, joy, and yes, comedy. Eli was speechless. A humor embassy? He asked. She nodded. And you will lead it. Eli grinned. Only if I get to keep the pie launcher. Ambassador Eli Graves couldn't believe it. A few weeks ago, he had accidentally insulted the most powerful alien queen in the galaxy. Now, He was standing in front of millions of viewers at the grand opening of the Earth Krintari Cultural Humor Embassy as its first official leader. The new embassy wasn't like any other building in the galaxy. It was floating above Krintari Prime, shaped like a laughing face with arms waving in joy. It glowed with soft lights and played happy sounds when visitors walked near it. The sign at the front read, "Welcome, come laugh with us and or at us." Alien ships came from all corners of space to see this strange human place, where laughter was treated like treasure. The Krintari had fully embraced this new idea, so much that even their soldiers now trained with humor breaks. Inside the embassy there were joke walls, prank classrooms, laughter therapy rooms, and even a joke history museum, with a wax statue of Eli holding a whoopee cushion. It was silly, it was strange, and it was working. Queen Zelthara sat in a special floating chair made of blue crystal. She smiled gently as Eli gave his welcome speech. "My friends from across the stars," he said. "Earth is honored to share its greatest weapon. No, not lasers or missiles, but jokes." Aliens laughed politely. "And don't worry," Eli added. "The translator has been updated. No more calling the queen wrinkly lizard grandma." Loud laughter burst from the crowd. Even the queen giggled. Eli smiled. This was it. The true meaning of human spirit in space, not war, not power, but connection through laughter. But of course peace was never simple. From far away, a mysterious ship watched the ceremony. Inside, a short gray alien named Bloop Commander Zarnak sat tapping his long fingers together. "These humans, their comedy is dangerous," Zarnak said. His assistant, a floating eyebot, blinked. "Dangerous, sir?" "Yes. Humor is powerful. It lowers shields of the mind. It connects enemies. We must stop it." Zarnak stood. "Prepare operation, zero laughter." Back on Krintari Prime, Eli had no idea someone was plotting to ruin his big day. He was giving a tour of the embassy to some very curious aliens. One of them, a large jellyfish named Glorm, asked, "What is banana peel accident? I hear this is holy ritual on Earth." Eli laughed. "Kind of. Here, I'll show you." He tossed a fake banana peel on the floor and pretended to slip on it, landing with a loud thump and a squeaky fart sound from a hidden cushion. The aliens exploded in laughter. Glorm clapped with 8 tentacles. Suddenly alarms blared. Lights blinked red. A robot voice said, "Warning, unauthorized ship approaching." Eli frowned. "Let me guess. Not here for jokes?" The main screen showed the face of Zarnak. "I am Zarnak of the Anti-Fun Collective," he said. "Your embassy is a threat to emotional control. Cease operations or face total seriousness." The crowd gasped. Eli blinked. "You're attacking us because we're too funny?" Zarnak narrowed his eyes. "Humor causes rebellion. Unity requires silence. Joy is a virus. You must be cleansed." Eli turned to Queen Zelthara. "Well, I guess the party just got serious." Zarnak's ship sent a strange wave toward the embassy. It turned off laughter circuits, jammed joke files, and even made the whoopee cushions go flat. Aliens inside started to panic. Some became grumpy. A squibble even cried, "My giggle is gone." Eli grabbed his old friend, UTD-9, the translator. "Device. Buddy, it's time for one last heroic malfunction." The device blinked. "Activating emergency joke mode.